Okay guys, welcome to another video. In today's video I wanted to discuss something with you, and just something that's been getting a pet peeve, something just been getting under my skin, and we're going to do a test. So I've been watching some videos recently, and I mean even older videos, you know, a couple years ago and stuff like that, of people recommending a Mora knife as a survival knife. Seriously, a survival knife? A Mora knife. It cannot be a survival knife because it's not full tang. So, for people that don't know, this is a Mora high-key robust. And maybe 1 or 2 years ago, 1 or 2 springs ago, I kind of did a destruction test on this exact knife, which entailed batoning this, which means whacking this through like a 6 or 8 inch log until it got stuck, prying on it, and then I had to baton it with another knife to wedge it enough so I could pull it out. On top of that, I clamped this to one of my trusses out here in the shop, and I did a couple dead hanging pull-ups from this. Now, guess what? It didn't break, but that's because it was a fluke. Okay, this one, it just happened not to break at that exact point. But in the survival situation, it will break because of Murphy's Law. And just because survival experts say you need a full tang knife, this Mora knife will break. Now personally, I have never broken one of these, and many people I talk to, many videos I watch, people have never broken them. They just know that Mora knives are fragile. Maybe we'll test it a couple different ways. So this is the blade facing down if you're batoning it. Now, like I said, I've batoned the hell out of this knife and I haven't gotten it to break. So I want to speed that process up by synthetically pretending like I'm batoning through a log. I'm actually going to smash it with a sledgehammer, guys. Maybe this is the point where I should say don't try this at home. I want to do this test so you guys don't have to. And I also want to do this test to prove that, like, you should never bring this out in the woods, because this is just a useless knife, guys. Doesn't matter that it's only 20 bucks, 15 bucks or whatever. And, you know, some of the newer models might be a little bit more. Apparently Mora knows that these are weak. That's why they came out with the, like, $100 full tang Mora. Okay, so the bench is the vise is pretty secure. This is cranked down pretty good. So that was the vise, guys. It's a kind of a cheap vise. So first, and I don't know if you can see in the background, this bench is, it's all said and done, there's probably a couple 100 pounds. So, okay, let's see. So this would be side pressure. Okay, pretty good. Do this number. I'm putting like the pressure you would if you're batoning or something like that. So I can probably do this all day, and I wasn't planning on it because, you know, Mora knives, everyone says they're just super weak. Can't be survival knives. So we'll have to up the ante because I'm running out of time. As you can see, I don't know, the vise left some marks in the handle. Not a big deal. Okay. Might not work, but let's just see. not doing anything. I know this knife's going to break because, like, that's what everyone says. Can't be a survival knife because it's not full tang. So I'm just going to be like a parrot and repeat that message because apparently what they're saying is true. So there's no movement. Still operational. Still usable. So how should we test this next? I was recently watching a video by Prepper Logic. He was talking about, serrated knives and how K-bars, they're not the best survival knife, and I agreed with that point. And then he had the audacity to recommend, it was a Mora Light My Fire with the little nifty ferro rod in the back as a survival knife. Are you kidding me? I mean, that can't be a survival knife. It's not full tang. It's a weak knife. It's a wimpy knife. Now, it doesn't matter that it's awesome to use and a very user-friendly knife. It doesn't matter that it's, the blade steel, everything about it is perfect. It's not full tang. It cannot be a survival knife, no matter how you look at it. And, I watch Prepper Logic's video. He has a lot of good stuff to say, but that video really got under my skin. A Mora knife, as a survival knife. How could somebody be so crazy? So, in this video I want to prove to you just how wimpy and how weak Mora knives really are. It's funny when you're trying to break knives, because apparently Moras break all the time, but then when you try and break it, it's hard to think of ways to prove that point. Okay, so it's clamped pretty tight. I just had an idea. Maybe, just maybe, we can put this C-clamp right here. So the blade doesn't pivot. You can see that. So, there. Maybe, you know what? I'll put two. So what this is doing, because the problem I'm running into is when I hit the handle, the blade comes up. So run another one right here. So that's pretty tight. That's tight. Okay. So okay. It's not loose. That's the blade. Flexing. So strike it with this. I'll have to move up to the next level. Sledgehammer. So, I don't know the weight of this. 6 pound, I think. Old sledge. Damn it. So what's next? what is next? I forgot some too. I forgot. I have to put the bag on because it's going to break any minute now. So now I'm going to use the sledge again. I'm going to hit it a little harder. So there on the knife. You guys want a closer look? Pretty good. So. We did it. We indeed did it. Now I'll go back in the video and count the number of strikes I did. We broke it, guys. Did you see how weak that knife was? It just broke. Believe that? So now remember, out in the woods, guys, you'll have a machinist vise and you'll have C-clamps and you'll be able to clamp it in a jig and do the test I just did. So let's bring this on the workbench. Let's bring this on the workbench and take a look. We broke it. Did you see how weak that knife was? Man, Mora knives are just bad. Can't make scrap knives. Look at that. Look at that. Look how weak that knife is. It broke. So, next order of business, we're going to cut this handle open and just take a look at it. Okay guys, so there's the handle. You can see that's where it broke right there. Take some close-up pictures too. Discussion of the handle. I mean, the handle it was a chore to get apart. But remember, these knives are weak. So I broke it. But as you can see, it has like an outer handle and then an inner handle, which is kind of cool. And then I'll just try and dig the tang out. So that's the tang. So what looks to have happened, so as you can tell, that's the complete knife and tang, and it looks to detach right there. A couple things I want to cover. First, at the beginning of the video, I was being completely sarcastic. I understand and I know how strong Mora knives are because I have tested them. I've tested that exact knife and it hasn't broken. Some people might say, "Oh, see, you broke it." Yeah, yeah, you proved me right. Mora knives can break just like any other knife. It might annoy some people, but I've broken more expensive, more survival type knives. I've broken Essie knives, broken K-bars. The one thing I want to cover though is this is one specific company, Mora. They've been in the knife game a long time, Mora knife. If you get another company, a newer company that uses a stick tang design, the handle might fall off the first time you use it. So just keep that in mind. It's based more on the company and the specific knife not, did I say knife? And the specific knife. Like I probably covered numerous times, don't try this at home. I'm not calling this a test of this knife. I'm not calling it a review of this knife because it wasn't a practical test. It was a through and through destruction test. At the beginning of the video, I knew by the end of the video I was going to break this knife. Keep that in mind too. In a survival situation, if you only have one bladed instrument, and for example, say it's a Mora, would you have that mentality, or would you have the mentality, I need to save this and I need to preserve this, so I'm going to use it as little as possible? I'm not saying the Mora knife is the end all be all best knife. It's just one of the main knives that I prefer, because they're inexpensive, because they're super comfortable, because they're easy to sharpen, because they're ergonomically pleasing, they are robust. So many, a host of reasons why I like the Mora knife. The Mora knife can't be a survival knife. It's been serving as a survival knife for a long time, and I think it will continue to. Like always, I hope you guys liked my video. If you did, go back to my homepage and watch some of my current videos. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. Catch you on the next video though.